And a good afternoon, baseball fans. We have finally made it. The championship matchup, the 2025 perfect game, Beast of the East, 14U Majors national title match. Two great organizations. They have worked so hard to get here, and it's Championship Sunday. Chris Allard with the call. Behind the plate, we'll make it happen for you, and it's going to be a good matchup. The Prime Baseball organization, they had a thriller beating Elite RBI. And the Prospects, who have faced the MTBA Dogs in the past in championship matches, and a good one today in their semifinal. They pull it off in fine fashion. The showdown this afternoon. We're here in Panama City, Florida. It'll be a good one. The Prime Baseball organization going against the ZT National Prospects 14U team. Keeping things official for us, Chris doing an outstanding job for a perfect game. He'll do all the scorekeeping and keeping things in check. Your umpires today. Eric behind the plate. He's working with two other umpires doing a nice job. Greg will be on the infield. Jeremy will be down on the first base side. That's a three-man crew for you for the championship matchup here. The 2025 Beast of the East national title here on the line in the 14U Majors division. We've seen some great baseball. It started on Friday, and we'll conclude here this afternoon. Heading towards the 3:30 p.m. hour here in Panama City, Florida. We welcome you this afternoon. Perfect conditions, a little bit warm outside, but players certainly have made the adjustments and becoming accustomed to the temperatures. As the pitcher of record for the Prospects will get you on the defensive set, as the Prospects will be the home team. They'll get the bottom half of the frame. Noah Gerolamic, the right-handed hurler, he'll take his warm-up tosses, and behind the plate, Nateo Victorio. Monster will manage things for the club there behind the dish. Over on the first base side, Jimmy Stout. He's had a good campaign so far this week. He'll play first base to start things off. Over in the second base position, Blake Barberena. Barberena, he answered big time for the Prospects against the MTB Dogs when they were trailing in the third. That's where all their runs came in. And Barberena went deep, and a four-run shot, a grand slam for Blake Barberena, and the Prospects had moved ahead from there. They held the lead and closed it out. Barberena will be at second. Over on the third base side, Jordan Leon pitched a good one for the Prospects. He'll take care of business over there. And in the shortstop position, Brandon Manavong, always a solid player. You can count on Manavong quite often for the club, coming through in many different situations. And of Noah Gerolamic, and I can tell you there's some nerves running there, and high octane, and a hit by pitch. So Owens will get on board with a walk. And stepping in the third baseman, Rivas. From the stretch. And fastball up and in, and Rivas will move away from that one, and the count is 2-0. So a heavy hand of Noah Gerolamic's need to settle down a little bit here. He's got Owens over at first. His first pitch, throw back over, and a good move for Gerolamic. Jimmy Stout on the bag at first for the Prospects, and Owens locked in there. Owens with a modest lead here, looking for a slight secondary. On the move, no. Strike outside call. So Gerolamic answers back. The count is 2-1. And a ball missing. The count goes to 3-1. And another toss over as Gerolamic, keeping his eye on Owens, was in as a DH and got hit by pitch on the first ball thrown. And high pop up on the infield. Barberena will get under it. He'll pull it in. So a high pop up to Blake Barberena keeps Owens parked over on the first base side. One out. light breeze from my right to left. As a three-hitter, Rodriguez, the catcher for the club, will step in. So Rivas on the pop-up. And another throw over as Jeremy, the first base line umpire, on the call, and Owens getting back in time. Gerolimic ready to deal. Pitch on the way. And good movement there. Curveball gets the outer part of the plate. The strike will hit there, and the count is 0-1. Championship game here. Final two standing. And right side, cut foul, and a long way from Brody Taylor. And Taylor just decides to blast through the fence and opens the gate up there. And he'll bring that in. So Gerolimic working ahead here at 0-2 on the three-hitter, the catcher Rodriguez. Owen stays parked at first with one out. Gerolimic takes a look. Pitch on the way. Left side, the ball is pulled foul. So Rodriguez takes a cut, pulls it foul and out of play down the third base side. And the count is 0-2. And another throwback over as Gerolimic working over with Owens on first for prime, and Stout just slapping on tag after tag. Taking a couple of extras there, and another cut foul. So Rodriguez will step back in, and the 0-2 battle continues here. Gerolimic ready to deal. A look over at Owens, another throwback, and a quick sweep tag for Stout. And there's a lot of action over there on the first base side. Pitch on the way. Chopper. Manavong's going to have to make a quick move, and in time. But Owens will move up 90 feet, and they'll get their second out on Rodriguez. So Manavong had to be patient on the chopper, but was able to get Rodriguez down the line in time, but Owens moves over. 2 outs. Vatterott will step in. Vatterott, the first baseman. And Owens over at second. Eric puts it in play. We're ready to go. Manavong in tight. He'll roll off. The ball is low on the inside part of the plate. And the count is 1-0. And a good pitch there, good movement. Gets the inner third, and Vatterott bailed out like he thought it might have been in a little tight there, but locates and evens things up. It's a 1-1 count. Owens at second, Manavong in his back pocket there as he rolls off. Ball low there, and a 2-1 count. If you're just joining us here this afternoon, we welcome you. The championship matchup, 14U Majors, the 2025 Perfect Game Beast of the East. Vatterott with a 2-1 count. And a ball low on the inside, a 3-1 count. So Vatterott patient at the plate thus far, as Gerolimic running things on the inner third of the plate. It's a 3-1 count. left side, backing up to the track. Blaylock. And that ball is gone. So Vatterott pulls the trigger, and Charlie Blaylock in left field was backing up all the way to the track, and that ball cleared the fence. So Prime Baseball strikes first, Vatterott goes deep, and it's a 2-0 affair. And that'll bring in Gordon, the left fielder.
Let's go, one. Here we go, baby. Wiffle ball game right here. Have some fun, baby.
So Gordon will step in. Bases cleared, 2 outs. And the ball is low. The count is 1-0. The prospects looking for their 3rd out, and Gerolamick in a 2-0 count here. And the ball's pulled foul to the left side and out of play. So Gerolamick and the prospects here with 2 outs, top of the first frame. And a 2-1 count to Gordon, the 5-hitter. And a good pitch, center field. Trey Lawrence, good wheels. And that ball's in and out of the glove. So Gordon gets on board with a single. And stepping in, the Palladian. Righty-lefty matchup here.
Let's go, Shawnee.
Jimmy Stout at first for the prospects. Will hold on Gordon. And the ball misses out. The count's 1-0. And good movement there. Locates, gets the outer third of the plate. And the count goes to 1-1. And the count goes to 2-1. Duplachain steps back in. And the ball's cut foul and out of play. The count goes even at 2-2 here. So Gerolamick here with a 2-2 pitch, throws over to Stout. As Gordon gets back in. And a ball missing out. The count goes full at 3-2. So a full count to the 6-hitter. Duplachain ready to go. Fielder's choice here, and the option to first base. 4-3 put out. That'll turn it over, but Vatterott strikes the long ball. They put up 2. We'll head to the bottom of the first frame. 2-0 Prime Baseball. We'll be right back. Well, back to live action. We'll give you the defensive set here for Prime Baseball. And we'll get that set up for you in just a minute. DeSalvo, the pitcher of record, number 24, the right-hander. He'll take things to start it off on the mound. Catching behind the plate, Rodriguez. Over on first base, Vattercott. Second base, Suzuki. Over on the third base side, Rivas. And the shortstop position will be Meyer. Left field, Gordon. Center field, Duplachain. And rounding things out on the right side, Kramer. That's the defensive lineup for Prime Baseball. And stepping in, Jordan Leon, the leadoff hitter for the club, ready to go. And a ball up. The count is 1-0. Jordan Leon laying off there. The prospects, they go 1, 2, 3, and Leon, Victorio, and Quinn. And a ball's pulled foul to the third base side. And the count goes even to 1-1. And that ball gets away at the plate. And the count is 2-1 to the leadoff hitter, Jordan Leon. And a strike called there. The count goes to 2-2. So a 2-2 count to Jordan Leon as he steps back in. And a ball upstairs, fastball, misses up and out. The count goes full at 3-2. On deck for the prospects, Mateo Victorio. The 3-2 pitch, hard hit ball, that gets through, and Jordan Leon, left center, gets it through and on board with a single. So Victorio will step in with Leon at first. And a ball, fastball out. The count's 1-0. Over on first. To get to this point, certainly presented, you're down to the best two. So Easton O'Quinn will step in here. And runners at first and second as DeSalvo will step off. And the ball gets away at the plate, and that'll move runners up 90 feet. And the count is 1-0.
Easton, sit fastball right here, kid. Sit fastball.
And DeSalvo answers back with a strike. And the count goes to 1-1. Runners at second and third. Cameron Walters and Leon. Pitch on the way. And a hard hit ball to the left side, pulled foul. And the count is 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike three, low in the zone. Quinn went after it, and they get their first out. So DeSalvo gets the out and the strikeout, and Blake Barbarena will step in. Righty-lefty matchup. Walters at second, Leon at third. One out, bottom of the first. And a curveball, okay. Leonard, and he's got Walters at second. And that so Lawrence ready to bring one over. It's a 2-1 affair here as Geralamick will take some additional warm-up tosses and be ready to go. Once again, you're enjoying the 2025 Beast of the East National Championship Tournament here in Panama City, Florida at the Public Sports Park. It's been a pleasure throughout the weekend making the call for you. Chris Allard with the call. And again, seeing some great baseball action throughout this particular tournament. As I mentioned, the best 14U teams in the nation were represented, and we are down to the final two here. So Victorio sends it down to second base, and we will be ready to start things off here. And
Rhythm early, babe. Come on, EBT. Here we go, babe.
stepping in the 8-hitter, Suzuki. Curveball in for the strike. The count's 0-1. And a 1-1 count to Suzuki. Pitch on the way. Good fastball. And the count is 2-1. Geralamick, fastball, runs it in, and Suzuki takes a cut, and the count goes to 2-2. And a ball pulled foul to the left side, and no play there. And the 2-2 count holds here on Suzuki. Slow roller, Jordan Leon. He'll gather, throw across the deck in time. So Suzuki down the line, but a good defensive play for the third base side in Jordan Leon. And a and swing and miss there. That gets through. The count is 1-2 with 2 outs for Noah Geralamick and the prospect. And back to live action, ready to go here as Brody Taylor will step in here in the bottom of the second. The prospects are chasing one to get even here. And DeSalvo stays on the hill for prime. Greg puts it in play, we're ready to go. The bottom of the second frame. Fastball out, the count's 1-0. Taylor right side, a hard knock down the line. And Taylor will shut it down at first, on board with a single. Gerolamic will come in, the pitcher of record thus far for the prospects. And Noah hitting in the 7 spot. Coach Sam down on the first base side for the prospects. Carlos Avila, the head coach, down on third. As Vattercott will hold him on. Pitch on the way, and a strike. So DeSalvo being effective with the curveball on the inside part of the plate. And an 0-1 count. Left side, third base, a good hit there. Brody Taylor was hesitant. He thought it might have been a foul ball. He's going to go to third, and a little trouble at the fence line. They're going to bring him in. The throw home is not in time. So a double for Gerolamic and an RBI. And the prospects will even things up here in the bottom of the second frame, a 2-2 tie. And that'll bring in Daniel Badar. So Gerolamic pulls a good ball down the third base side and ends up at second with an RBI. Badar will step in. And a high flyer, center fielder gets under it, and Gerolamic will stay put at second. And the first out on the books here for the prospects. Stepping in, the 9-hitter Jimmy Stout. So Stout will step in. Jimmy ready to go. 2-2 tie. Gerolamic with good speed over at second. Pitch on the way. Jimmy left side. That ball could. It just caroms off of his glove. And Jimmy Stout gets the RBI and the single, and the prospects will move ahead 3-2 here in the bottom of the second frame. Area, there's the ZT Academies where you can go train and get some tunnel time and work out with your clubs as you're competing in the country. And it's at least on the audio portion if you lose the video. And one attempt there, and that fouls off. At first, the count is 1-2. Laylock. Quick toss at second.
Come on, baby.
And the out on Jimmy Stout, but Blaylock gets down the line.
You know he's going. No surprises. Malo de la rodilla.
So 2 outs on the books, and Jordan Leon will step in. And Leon looks at ball 1. The count is 1-0. Waltman steps off. Leon will step out, and everybody will reset here. Blaylock with good speed as Vatterott holds him on at first. Pitch on the way. Curveball in for the strike. The count goes to 1-1. So Waltman, a good pitch there, and evens the count. And a ball just missing on the outside part of the plate. The count goes to 2-1. Leon looking for a knock here with 2 outs. So 3-1 count to Jordan Leon. Leon being patient here. Ball upstairs, ball 4. So Waltman elevates and does not get the strike out of the zone, and Jordan Leon will move up on board to first. So a walk for Jordan Leon, and stepping in is Nateo Victorio. So Victorio steps in with 2 outs, runners at first and second. And Waltman will start ahead. The count is 0-1. Shortstop in tight. Meyer over at second for Prime in the back pocket of Charlie Blaylock. As Waltman takes a look over. Pitch on the way. Victorio, strike outside. And the count is 0-2, so Waltman well ahead here on Victorio. And foul tip just off the end of the barrel for Victorio. And he'll hold in there at an 0-2 count. Prospects have moved ahead 3-2 as we're in the bottom of the second. Waltman from the stretch. Victoria And we are ready to go here, back to live action in the top of the third. Prospects leading this one 3-2. Back to the top of the order, Owens will step in. So Geralamick ready to go. Eric puts it in play. In the third. Fastball, good pitch outside, just a little elevated and out, and the count is 1-0. 1-2. Victoria is, so Owens will have a seat, and Geralamick moved towards it, but it was a little shallow, and Rivas is on board with a single. 1 out. And Rodriguez will step in. Pushing towards just a bit after 4 p.m., about 10 minutes after the hour here on the East Coast, and a ball up, the count's 1-0. Final game of this 2025 Beast of the East National Tournament. We've had a multitude of age divisions. How you doing, boss? Hey, take care. Good luck to you, man, in the fire department. Take it easy. Thank you. On the way, ball's pulled foul. Count evens up at 2-2 here with now. We're in the top of the third frame, and we apologize there. Internet connectivity out here has been challenging nonetheless. We're back live with you. And that ball is low. The count goes full at 3-2. With the bases loaded, we're here in the top of the third with 1 out. It's a 3-3 tie. We promised you a good one. We're sending it your way. And a good pitch there to start things off as Geralamick comes inside and locates. The count's 0-1. Deep to center, Trey Lawrence, and he pulls it in. He's got a good arm, and they bring it back in quickly. So Lawrence, a deep fly out, and everybody locked at the bases. So Lawrence pulls it in and sent it a rocket in from center field. And that might be possibly it for Geralamick, and that's going to do it. They're going to make a pitching change here as Ortiz. And Noah Geralamick does what he needed to do, and he'll step off, and Nate Hanley White will take over. Stay with us. It's a good one. A 3-3 tie in the top of the third with 2 outs. Prospects trying to get out of the inning here, and Nate Hanley White will take over. We'll be right back. And stepping in, Meyer, the shortstop. 2 outs on the books. Nate Hanley White takes over. Blake Barbarena at shortstop. Defense is set beyond those adjustments. Jimmy Stout at first. Pitch on the way. Right side. And the gap. Here comes one. Rounding, here comes 2. A little trouble on the grab, pulling it in. And here comes 3. So a double and a 3-run shot clearing the bases. And it's 6-3 here. And a curveball in for the strike. The count is 0-1. So Suzuki steps in with Meyer at second as he cleared the bags. Deep to right center. And a good pitch there, back to back, and the count is 0-2. And a good looking pitch there, just missing. Count is 1-2. Third base side, a good gather. Jordan Leon, he's got time, and no throw. So a little bobble over on the third base side. Not sure how they'll score that, if that's a reach on air. But nonetheless, Suzuki's on board. 2 outs. And the 9-hitter, Kramer, will step in. 6-3 affair. Prime's moved ahead here in the top of the third on a well-hit ball from Meyer. And curveball there in for the strike. The count is 0-1. And the ball's chopped foul at the plate. And Nate Hanley White will work ahead here. And the count is 0-2. So Kramer steps back in. Hanley White with an 0-2 count. Meyer at second. Pitch on the way. Ball's outside. The count goes to 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Chop foul. So Kramer takes a cut, fouls it off to the left side. Suzuki at first, Meyer at second. Meyer with the bases loaded. We were in a 3-3 tie and ended up with a double. And cleared everybody off the bags. Pitch on the way. And that ball is foul. So Kramer will step back in. And a 1-2 count. And another chopper foul. Out of play on the first base side. And Kramer continues to battle here at a ball and 2 strikes. And a ball low and in for White, and the count goes to 2-2. So prospects looking to get back on the offensive side with 2 outs here. And Nate will step off and reset. High fly ball, shallow. Blaylock's going hard. And that ball drops in on Taylor. Here comes one. They're going to throw it home. It could be a bang-bang play here, and not in time. And runs 7 and 8 will come over on Kramer. And a double and 2 across. It was a shallow ball. And Blaylock had rolled off from second and hustled to get there. And Taylor was coming in from right, and they just couldn't close on it. Taylor tried to lay it out, but not able to glove it. Kramer's at second. Chopper. Some time there. Blaylock's going to have to hurry. And in time. Ball's chopped foul, straight back and out of play. Step in here in the bottom of the third frame. Gives up a leadoff double. So Barbara Reyna, the 4-hitter, will step in. And Meyer, shortstop, in tight on O'Quinn. He'll roll off. And a ball out, missing there. Waltman will even things up. The count goes to 1-1. And a 2-1 count to Barbarena. And a ball low. Stop behind the plate. A good stop there for Rodriguez. And the count is 3-1 to Barbarena.
Come on, Jack Curry. Here we go, baby.
Barbarena. The 3-1 count here in the lefty-lefty matchup. Waltman with a long hold. Ball 4. So Barbarena gets on board as Waltman issues the walk, and Barbarena will find himself 90 feet down to first base, and that'll bring up Trey Lawrence. Lawrence hitting in the 5 spot. The Prospects have runners at first and second and no out. And the center fielder makes the grab. They'll tag or makes the grab. They'll tag up. And Geralamick will move over to third, but high fly ball. Section 1-0. And the Prospects chipping away here. And a strike there. Curveball hits. And the count goes to 1-1. And Taylor lays off, and the count goes to 2-1.
Come on, Brody.
Runner goes, pulled foul, and Taylor will reset again. And the count goes to 2-2. Taylor. Safe at first, and no play at second. And a big play for the Prospects, and Quinn will come over. The Prospects pick up their 4th run here with 1 out.
Come on, no, get on front.
Geralamick will step in. Runners at first and second, 1 out. The Prospects chasing 4. And Geralamick will step back out. Waltman steps off. He'll reset.
Stay hot, kid.
And a strike at the plate. The count is 0-1. And a ball missing there on the inside, and the count will even up at 1-1. As Geralamick looking for a knock. Prospects chipping away with runners at first and second here. They're able to get it to 4, looking for more here with 1 out. Upstairs, Geralamick doesn't pull the trigger, and the count is 2-1. A strike there. Geralamick hesitated. Looked like he wanted to go.
No.
And the count is 2-2. And right there, they're backing it up to 2. And Barberena took off, thinking that the fly ball wasn't going to get caught. They double him up, and they'll turn it over. We'll be right back. And back to live action. We're ready to go here in the top of the 4th frame. The prospects were able to chip away here modestly. They picked up 1. It's 4-8 now. And the prospects working their way back. So Rivas fouls it off, and the count is 1-1. And a 1-2 count. Rivas takes a cut, fouls it off. Curveball in for the strike. Strike 3, that'll do it. So Rivas has a seat, and Nate will get the strikeout. Rodriguez steps in, chops it foul, and the count is 0-1. And the count is 3-1 to the batter, Rodriguez. The 2, 3, 4 hitters. Rodriguez hitting in the 3 spot. The 3-1 pitch. Check foul. It's going to have to be quick. Is in time. So Easton O'Quinn on what looked like a check swing. And the out is made.
Come on, Nate.
So Quinn takes care of business with 2 outs, and Vattercott will step in. Vatterott with the bases empty. And the count is 1-0. And a ball up, a 3-1 count to Vatterott. And a strike there. Nate answers back. Vatterott taking. Count goes full 3-2. And out, strike 3 call. And that'll do it. So Nate Hanley White will set the side. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. The Prospects looking to manufacture some runs here. They're chasing 4 to get even. We'll be right back. Well, back to live action. We're ready to go here in the bottom of the 4th frame. The Prospects chasing 4 to get even here, and it's a 7-inning game. There's no time limit as Daniel D. Bedard will step in. And the ball's outside. The count is 1-0. The Prospects here will go 8, 9, 10. And breaking ball missing. The count goes to 2-0. So Bedard looks at a 2-0 count. And a strike up the middle. Bedard takes a look. The count's 2-1. And Bedard takes a look at ball 3. And the count is 3-1. Waltman takes Bedard to a 3-1 count. And Bedard steps back in. And a strike there. Bedard gets a strike called looking. And the count goes full to 3-2. And Badar cuts it foul. And a 3-2 count holds here on Badar. Time called, Badar steps out. Badar right side, right to the second baseman. Routine play there. And they get the first out. Stepping in, and that quick conversation with Waltman out on the hill. As our umpire Eric's going to try to move things along here. There's no time limit on these games. It's 7 innings. Sometimes coaches like to play the clock game when it gets tight, when there's an hour 45 and no new, and we've seen that. That's just part of the strategy of the game. But Jimmy Stout will step in. We're ready to go here, 1 out. Bottom of the 4th. And Stout looks at strike 1. Stout hitting in the 9 spot here for the Prospects. And the count goes to 1-1. And hit by pitch, Waltman will put Jimmy Stout on board. And that'll bring up Charlie Blaylock. So Blaylock will step in with 1 out. Jimmy Stout back in at first. Waltman's a direct line of sight over to Vatterott. Pitch on the way. And Blaylock looking at a strike. And a fastball up. The count goes to 1-1. Stout steps off. Ball misses out. The count goes to 2-1. On deck, Jordan Leon. Back up the middle, a well-hit ball for Charlie Blaylock, and he'll find himself on board with a single. So runners at first and second for the leadoff hitter, Jordan Leon. So Leon steps in. Blaylock at first, Stout at second for the Prospects. 1 out, bottom 4. Prospects chasing 4 to get even. And the ball low on the plate, gets away, but Rodriguez didn't have to go too far up the third base line, about 10 feet, so everybody stayed parked. No movement off the bases, and the count's 1-0. Waltman from the stretch. And a strike. Jordan Leon takes a look, and the count goes to 1-1. And a ball missing low. The count goes to 2-1. So Leon is being patient. Prospects need to keep men on bags and chip away here, trying to reel things back in as they're trailing. And that ball's up and out, and the count will go to 3-1. And ball 4. So Waltman will put Jordan Leon on, and with a walk will load the bases. And Monster Victoria will step in. So Nateo, with the bases loaded and 1 out. Again, prospects just looking to chip away here. They'd love to see something big out of Victoria right now. And a strike outside, and the count goes even to 1-1. So the prospects with a big opportunity here in the bottom of the 4th, with men on occupying all stations. And a ball that counts 1-0. And inside, the count's 2-0. And a ball up and out. The count is 3-0. Ball 4, and Waltman will walk in Jimmy Stout from third, and the prospects will get their 5th run over with a bases loaded walk issued by Waltman to Easton O'Quinn, and Blake Barbarena will step in. The bases juice for Barbarena. Prospects continue to chip away here. We're in the bottom of the 4th. They trail by 3. And a low pitch for Waltman to start off. The count is 1-0. A high leverage moment here in the bottom of the 4th. And low, ball 2, and the count is 2-0. Waltman versus Barbarena. inside ball 3. And a 3-0 count here, and O'Quinn at first, Leon at second, and Blaylock at third, and Waltman with a 3-0 count to Barberena. The 3-0 pitch, and a strike called there, an elevated pitch up and out, and the strike call. And the count goes to 3-1. So Barberena lays off, and a 3-1 count here. From the stretch, ball 4, and Waltman will walk in Blaylock, and the score is 6-8. The Prospects continue to chip away. And they're chasing 2 to get even with the bases juiced, and head coach Vladimir Nunez will head out. And that might be short work for Waltman, and it is. A pitching change coming up. We'll be right back. The Prospects, they're chipping away here in the bottom of the 4th. And a big cut there. Suzuki gets it through. And the count goes even to 1-1. So Trey Lawrence, a 1-1 count. And back to back, Lawrence with big cuts. And Suzuki ahead here at 1-2. Prospects trying to manufacture a couple more runs here with the bases loaded and 2 outs. And strike 3, Suzuki puts Lawrence down, and they'll strand 3, but the Prospects are chipping away. It's a good one. 8-6, we'll head to the 5th.
Hi, brother.
Well, we're ready to go here in the top of the 5th. And Prime Baseball leading this one 8-6. The Prospects were able to chip away in the bottom of the 4th. And Gordon will step in. We're ready to go. Brandon Manavong taking over on the hill will open up with a strike, and the count is 0-1. And strike 2, so back-to-back strikes.
It's okay. Don't show him up. Let him get set.
And Manavong ready to go again. Manavong works quick, I can promise you that much. Likes to get in and get out. Fastball up and out. The count is 1-2. And a 2-2 count. And Manavong runs it outside. The count goes to 3-2. And Manavong loses the leadoff hitter, and Gordon will come in. And Manavong with a strike comes inside. The count's 0-1. And Manavong, good pitch outside, able to locate, and the count's 0-2. Throw back over. Jimmy Stout puts on the tag, and Gordon gets back in time. And strike 3 there at the plate. So Manavong gets the K and 1 out. Myers will step in. And a big cut at the plate there. And Myers takes a cut, and Manavong runs it through. The count is 0-1. And a 1-1 count. Gordon over at first. Slightly after 5 p.m., heading towards the 5:15 p.m. hour. Manavong gets a swing and a cut foul straight back, and the count is 1-2. Only a couple of games remaining here in the 2025 Beast of the East National Tournament here. You're enjoying the 14U Majors Division. The title matchup, Prime Baseball versus the ZT Prospects, the national team. The 1-2 pitch for Manavong. And that gets away. And the count goes to 2-2, and the runner will move up 90 feet. And Gordon fly ball in the gap, a long way to go, and there's no play there. They cut it in, and a big route for Geralamick, and that drops in for a single. And Runners at the corners.
Go, Vicky, here we go, babe.
Suzuki will step in. Manavong opens with a strike there. The count's 0-1. Suzuki takes a look. Gordon at third, Meyer at first. Back-to-back strikes. The count is 0-2. And the out made, so Victorio takes a shot down the line, and Meyer will have a seat. And the runner's thrown out there. Caught stealing. And 2 outs with a 1-2 count on Nabiki Suzuki. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll do it. They leave 1 and not able to do it, and we'll head to the bottom of the 5th. The Prospects just chasing 2. They've been chipping away. You're enjoying the 2025 Fortune U Majors National Championship event here. It's been a big one, the Beast of the East. As promised, we'll be right back. Well, bringing you back into live action, we're ready to go here in the bottom of the 5th. Prospects chasing 2 to get even. We play 7 innings. We're in the bottom of the 5th frame, and Brody Taylor will start things off for the Prospects. Nabiki Suzuki stays on the bump for Prime Baseball, and we are ready to go here. And Taylor on the inside there. The count is 1-0. The Prospects here, 6, 7, 8. Taylor cuts it foul and out of play. Straight back, and the count is 1-1. And Taylor with a big cut there as Suzuki gets it through. And the count is 1-2. Taylor just looking to get on board. Ball's upstairs, fastball. The count goes to 2-2. And upstairs again. And the count goes full at 3-2. And upstairs, ball 4. So just out. Hibiki was trying to make the adjustment, but ran it out a little bit elevated, but out of the zone. And Cody Taylor gets on board with a walk. So Noah Gerolamic will step in, takes a look down the line to head coach Carlos Avila. As we're here in the bottom of the 5th and no outs. Fatterott will hold on Taylor at first. And the ball's cut foul, and that'll be out of play. Fastball up.
JL, don't leave your position.
And the count goes to 1-1. Ball 4, so Gerolamic gets on board with a walk, and back-to-back walks for Suzuki. And Brandon Manavong will step in and visit out to the mound. We'll be right back. So called off. So Manavong loads back up and back in. We're ready to go. The 2-2 pitch with no outs for Suzuki. Runners at first and second. Prospects chasing 2 to get even. The 2-2 pitch. Manavong right side could get through, and it does. And rounding home. There could be a play there. No, they shut everybody down, but Manavong gets on board with a single. So the bases are juiced. And Jimmy Stout will step in. So Stout steps in. And no outs here in the bottom of the 5th frame. Stout chops it foul to the left side. And the count is 0-1. Stout will step out as Suzuki steps off. And Jimmy will reload. Hibiki working from the stretch. And a ball up. The count goes to 1-1. It's an even count here. Jimmy Stout, chopper, a slow roller. There could be trouble there. And they get the out. A good play defensively for Owens, who makes a good play, but they will score, and it's a 7-8 affair. So Owens makes a good play, and the Prospects, though, will get their 7th run over here with 1 out. And Charlie Blaylock will step in, runners at 2nd and 3rd. Charlie Blaylock flies up. Center fielder coming in, should be able to make a play. They're tagging up. A delayed throw at home, and like that, it's even money. The center fielder delayed his throw.
Hey, they got the sign from second again.
And Blaylock sack fly, but he gets the RBI. And a runner at 2nd, and we're an even tie now. It's an 8-8 affair. And Jordan Leon will step in. Runner at 2nd. Manavong parked over there. 2 outs on the books. The center fielder who made a good grab and pulled it in. But hesitated on the throw in, and that was giving enough time to bring the 8th run over. So we're in an 8-8 tie for Leon. And Manavong at 2nd, shortstop shuttling in. Owens is well ranged up at 2nd. He's starting to creep in a little bit. Pitch on the way. Ooh, and pulled foul to the left side. And the count is 0-1. Tony Harper dropping in here, checking things out, the director of the youth program. Another fine event put on by these guys, and a good matchup here. It's an 8-8 tie. And laying off, no movement. Manavong started to head this way and lost traction, it looked like, on his feet. And that shut him down. And it's a 1-1 count to Jordan Leon. High fly ball. Popped up. Should be a routine play. And trouble. And they pull it in. Leon like to have it back. It's a tie ball game. It's a good one. Stay with us. We're going to the 6th. It's an 8-8 tie. Well, back to live action. We're ready to go here in the 6th frame. We'll play 7 complete. We're at an 8-8 tie right now. And here in the top of the 6th, Prime will go 9-1-2. And to start things off, Kramer. And the count is 1-0. And a strike there. The count evens up at 1-1. So a 2-1 count. Manavong. Cut there for Kramer. He fouls it off, and it's a 2-2 count. You can start to see some shadows taking place out here and right out in behind home plate. We're heading towards the 6 p.m. hour, 5:33 to be exact, 32. Manavong, good looking pitch, and a good glove there. And Easton O'Quinn showing some athleticism and some range there as he moves to his right and makes the out. So good play there for Easton O'Quinn. Top of the order, Owens will step in. He takes a cut foul. One out. And Owens looks at an 0-1 count here. Manavong runs it inside, misses there, and the count goes even to 1-1. And a 5-3 put out there for Noah Geralamick to Easton O'Quinn, and 2 outs on the books. So Geralamick takes care of out number 2, and that'll bring in Rivas. And a good pitch there. Manavong runs it in, gets the inner third called, and the count is 0-1. And outside part of the plate. Ennis, did he go? He did not go. So a 1-1 count as the appeal down to the first baseman, umpire Jeremy down on first. 3-man crew here tonight in the championship matchup. Time is called, and Rivas will step out.
Hey, don't let him quit pitching. Don't let him quit pitching. Let him get set.
And Manavong, a good-looking pitch there, runs it through. Rivas with a cut, and a 1-2 count for Brandon Manavong. Ball's hit in the gap, a high flyer, backing up a long way there, and there's no play. And a ground rule double, looks like there. And that ball jumped out of the field of play, so a ground rule double. And Rivas will head back to second. So, ground rule double, Rivas goes back. And 2 outs on the books for Rodriguez. And Manavong delivers a strike. And count is 0-1. And a 1-1 count. Annabong. Ball's outside the field of play as O'Quinn was rolling off a first and Taylor from right field, but nothing playing there, and the count is 1-2. Was on the gas all the way. Rivas was flying home, and it was a bang-bang play at home plate, and Charlie Blaylock, the tag is laid on. What a play. If you want a highlight reel, you just got one. Well, we'll turn the side over. We'll head to the bottom of the sixth. It's a great matchup. The championship's here, the 2025 Perfect Game Beast of the East 14U Majors. Chris Aller with the call. Stay with us, folks. This is a good one. Well, some exciting action to end the top of the sixth frame. As a big play from Charlie Blaylock, they cut it in and bang, bang play at home plate. Rivas was coming around the corner very fast, and Victorio gloved it perfectly and put the tag on before Rivas got in, just right up the line and on his body. Great play, and on both sides. As Hibiki Suzuki will continue a couple more warm-up tosses, we'll be ready to go here in the bottom of the sixth, an 8-8 tie here in the championship matchup. To lead things off, Nateo Victorio. So Victorio steps in. Righty-lefty matchup. Suzuki sees what he needs on the pitch call. We're ready to go. Bottom six. And Victorio looks at strike one. Victorio, left side, pulls it foul and out of play. And the count is 0-2. Oh, correction. And in foul territory. So Gordon pulls it in. That looked like a ball was possibly out of play, but Gordon made a good move to get there. And Easton O'Quinn will step in. O'Quinn ready to go here. We're in the bottom of the sixth, 8-8 tie. And that ball bounces at the plate. The count is 1-0. And a strike located, gets the low part of the zone called as O'Quinn not biting there, and the count goes to 1-1. And hit by pitch there, so Quinn will wear that one and find himself on board with a hit by pitch with one out, and Blake Barberena will step in. So the prospects here in the bottom of the sixth frame, they get their runner on with one out, and Barberena will step in. Prospects looking to manufacture one here. We're at an 8-8 tie. Vatterott holds him on. O'Quinn at first. Strike outside. And the count is 0-1. And the ball cut foul and out of play. And the count is 0-2 on Barberena. Runner goes. Barberena takes a swing, fouls it back.
Good jump, 16.
Owens, they go to 2, they get that, and they don't get Barberena, but they get the out at second. So 2 outs. And Barberena gets back in time. Suzuki just checking him back. And Lawrence looks at a strike. Thought he was going to pull the trigger there. And a good looking pitch. And it's a 1-1 count. And a 2-1 count to Trey Lawrence. Lawrence, shortstop, should be a routine play, fielder's choice, that'll do it. So 6-4 on the out, and they'll leave one on. It's an 8-8 tie, we're going to the 7th. Well, we bring you back in live action here as we're ready to go here. A 8-8 tie as promised. A great matchup. You get the best 2 teams standing at the end of the tournament. This is what you get. The price of admission's been well worth it as we're ready to go here. Vatterott, they go 4, 5, 6. We'll step in. Manavong ready to deal. Top of 7. Vatterott takes a cut, fouls it off to the right side and out of play. The count is 0-1. And a pitch is low. The count goes to 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Manavong goes low, ball 3. The count's full at 3-2. Chopped foul. And the 3-2 count holds. Heading towards 6 p.m. here in Panama City, Florida. We're here at the Public Sports Park. Enjoying the championship matchup in the 14U Majors, the ball 4. That gets away from Manavong. Vatterott will get on board with a walk, and Gordon will step in. Manavong thought he might have had it, running the outside part of the plate, but a ball there, and the count is 1-0 to Gordon. Vatterott at first base, and O'Quinn holds him on. Center field, Trey Lawrence will make a move, a good route for him, and he'll pull it in. A long fly out for Gordon, and Lawrence pulls it in for the club, and 1 down. Will step in the righty-lefty matchup with a 6-hitter. 1 out in the 7th frame. Manavong runs it out. The count's 1-0. And the count is 2-0. So, Victoria, quick conversation with Manavong. The 2-0 count with 1 out. Pitch on the way, comes inside, gets the strike call. The count goes to 2-1. Gordon over at first. Correction, Vatterott at first. And the count goes to 3-1. O'Quinn holds on Vatterott. The 3-1 pitch. High fly ball. Everybody's going to have to move quickly. Jordan Leon, a long way to go, and he'll pull it in over on the second base side. So 2 outs on the books. As Leon pulls that in for the prospects. And stepping in is Meyer. Manavong just missing outside, and the count is 1-0. Manavong runs it over to O'Quinn over at first. Vatterott gets back in time. Jeremy, the first base line umpire, on the call. Pitch on the way. And a ball swung on, fouled off to the right side. The count goes even to 1-1.
I only got one baseball.
Manavong, outside part of the plate, gets the strike call. And Manavong ahead here at a ball and 2 strikes to the batter. The 7-hitter, the shortstop Meyer. Victorio sets up. And fouled off. Right back. Well, back to live action, the bottom of the 7th frame. Championship matchup. The Prospects, the home team, they get the bottom. It's an 8-8 tie. Brody Taylor will step in. Ball 1 at the plate. The count is 1-0 for the Prospects here in the bottom of the 7th. They go 6, 7, 8. Prospects just looking to get a man on, and an opportunity here to finish in the 7th. Pitch on the way. And that ball is strike low and inside part of the plate. And the count goes to 1-1. And Taylor cuts it foul. Rodriguez takes a little dinger there, and he'll step up for a minute. I'll give him a second. And the count is 1-2. 3 call. Brody Taylor gets caught looking. Suzuki gets the K. And Girolamic will step in. And a strike low. And the count is 0-1. Girolamic pops it up behind home plate. And attempt behind the plate, Rodriguez. So Rodriguez made an effort. The head umpire was on the call all the way, and
First baseman couldn't even get them because there was people behind them.
the call will hold at the plate with our head umpire Eric making the call there. And the ball's fouled off. The count is 0-2.
Here we go. Stay in your dugout. Here we go.
And Suzuki runs it low. The count goes to 1-2.
Like this, he's running around everybody.
6 o'clock here. We played 2 hours. And that ball is up. The count goes to 2-2. Most games during pool play and up until the semifinals are an hour 45, no new inning. So a long one here in the championship title matchup here at the 14U Majors. The best two standing, the prospects in prime baseball. Pitch on the way. Ball is low. The count goes full to 3-2. So disciplined in the box is Noah Gerolamic. Straight up 6 p.m. Chop foul.
Keep throwing, 2-2.
So Noah will lock back in. And Suzuki steps on the rubber, ready to go. The 3-2 pitch, one more time. Ball 4 outside. So Suzuki will let Gerolamic go down to first base and puts him on with 1 out. And Brandon Manavong will step in. And the ball missing low and out as Manavong lets that go through. The count is 1-0. Gerolamic at first base. Vatterott holds him on. Suzuki working from the stretch. And upstairs tight on the fastball, and the count is 2-0. Time called here, and a visit out to the mound. Coach Carlos Avila and his guys will get together. It's a good one. Stay with us. Manavong right side, right fielder, a long route into foul territory. That ball is on the fence and no play there. Kramer, a long route for him, but a good attempt nonetheless, but just no option. And the count goes to 2-2 on Manavong. And behind Manavong, and the count goes full at 3-2. So that gets away from Hibiki. And the count goes full. And upstairs, ball 4. So Manavong, disciplined at the plate, finds himself on board with a walk, and runners at first and second in Brandon Manavong and Noah Gerolamic. So Gerolamic over at second, and Jimmy Stout will step in. And a visit out to the mound for Rodriguez to talk to Hibiki as Jimmy Stout gets ready at the plate with 1 out. Prospects here in the bottom of the 7th. Your title match here. It's been a great tournament and outstanding work again for Perfect Game, putting on an excellent program here at the Public Sports Park in Panama City, Florida. Jimmy Stout steps in. Runners at first and second, bottom 7. And Jimmy lays off, and the count is 1-0. Jimmy Stout, right side, cuts it foul and no play there. The count evens up to 1-1. Owen shuffling around at second. Rodriguez with a good stop at the plate as Hibicki runs it out, and the count is 2-1. So Stout just looking for a knock here with Geralamick and good speed at second. Owens again creeping in on the second base side. He'll range back up. And hit by pitch. Suzuki didn't want to let that happen. And Jimmy Stout So Stout gets on with a hit by pitch, and that'll bring up Charlie Blaylock. And Stout taking a minute there as Coach Sam takes his gear. And Stout's ready to go on first. All stations occupied. Stout, Manavong, Geralamick. Charlie Blaylock with one out, bottom 7 and 8/8 tie. Time is called. Blaylock will step out. Suzuki will work from the stretch. Charlie Blaylock, left side. That ball's deep. That ball is out in left field. And Charlie Blaylock will walk it off. And the Prospects will take the title. What a matchup for the ages, folks. This was a special one. Prime baseball. They were leading through, and the Prospects tied it up, and Charlie Blaylock pulls the trigger to left field, and they win it in a walk-off. Well, it's been a great weekend of baseball starting on Friday, and of course, what a matchup here today. The Prospects, they take the title, the 14U Majors champions in the 2024 Beast of the East National Tournament. It's been a great pleasure for everybody behind the scenes, Scooter, Robert, Tony Harper, the director, and all the PG crew putting on another great event. It's been my pleasure. Chris Allard with the call. This one's officially in the books. The Prospects and Prime, they go head-to-head, and the Prospects will prevail. What an outstanding finish for the Prime Club as well. To get here alone is an accomplishment. But for now, from Panama City, sportsmanship will prevail as players shake hands. And a great event for both clubs. We'll say so long from Panama City. This one's officially in the books.